Hello to Leo, Sun, Moon and Rising signs. This is going to be your 2025 tarot reading. I'm not going to take into account astrologically what is going on because my idea is that not every Leo placement is going to see this video. So if you've come across this is like a unique video for you and for, you know, what things could be coming in for you, where you've been, and yeah, I hope that makes sense. If you would like a more one-on-one personalized reading, I am doing those. The link is in the bio. It's just on my Etsy, or just feel free to message me on Instagram. But yeah, so let's just see where you've been. And I'm also using the Sacred Forest Oracle for this reading, which I haven't used in ages. I'm so excited to be using it again. And the Tarot of the Divine. Also, please keep in mind that these are general readings, so they may resonate on different levels for different people. So please just take what resonates and leave what does not. So yeah, we've just got to go back to go forward, I think. So let's just do a little bit of reflection on where you've been. What lessons has 2024 brought you? Leadership. That is a vibe. Truth. And then we have got success. So 2024 has been a year of you learning how to prioritize yourself and to follow your own instincts in a way that just feels right for you, resonates for you. You may have done some things or gone after things like in a way that other people may not like fully understand, but you've just really learned to kind of push through that and just know that like what is true for you will, you know, not always make sense to other people, but over time it might. Not that it really matters, but that's the thing, is it just doesn't really matter what other people think or what other people want for you, because it's your life. And I think that you've really, you know, come to an understanding of yourself on a much deeper level. And yeah, like especially with like the Raven, they're about, like, they symbolize death and transformation and intuition, spirituality. So it's like there's been like a death of the self. Like, for example, people pleasing. So maybe before you were doing things in a way where you were worried about how others might perceive you. So you were kind of still, you know, trying to go after things that you wanted, but in a more like muted sort of way, where yeah, you weren't fully being yourself. It was like you were on the way there, but it was still kind of like filtered by like what you thought, you know, other people could kind of palate, if that makes sense. But I feel like with the Raven, with the transformation, you've moved through that, and you're now in like a chapter where you're able to express yourself and explore yourself more authentically and in a more like carefree way. And I think that you've really felt like just the true freedom of that 100%, because we've got the fairy here and then the Raven, like that's wings, and the stag spirit is like leadership, of course, because it says that, but like it's just taking control of yourself, taking control of your life, standing up for yourself, you know, like using your spine, sort of a thing. So hell yeah, I love that for you. You know, you got to pat yourself on the back for that, because, you know, if we can't take a moment to reflect and to, you know, see where we've been, we, you know, don't have the time and space to properly move forward. So yeah, you've done a good thing. Now we're just going to come back to the present and just see where you're at right now and what is the advice for right now. Change. Okay, like literally what I was saying, transformation, change, growth. So this is just kind of telling me that you're in the midst of this still. Because like when we go through like a transformative period, it's like the butterfly or the dragonfly. So we have like the caterpillar stage, and then we have the cocoon stage, and then there's the butterfly. So this is telling me that you're in the cocoon stage in the present. So be patient with yourself and just allow yourself space to explore, to have fun, to entertain yourself while you're in the cocoon, because that's how you kind of become the butterfly. But that's how you like get to the point where you're like, this is who I am now. I'm gonna, you know, go and fly and be free and explore the new world as this new me. Focus. Wizard of the Woods. And then at the bottom, what have we got? Beauty. So this to me just feels like an energy that is quite like, you know, self-focused, not really too worried about too far into the future, not really worried about the past. It's like, where am I now? How am I entertaining myself now? Am I prioritizing my time properly? Am I, you know, going after things that feel right to me still? It's kind of like finding your feet. But this is the time to fuck up. Do you know what I mean? Like there's always time to fuck up. You're always allowed to do that. But this is a time for you to make mistakes, trial and error. If you want to try a new hobby, for example, do that. If you want to change your style, do that. Like if you're feeling called to do something that is different, like now is the time to do it. You're protected and supported, and you're never gonna not be in this stage. I'm gonna pull one tarot card just on this present moment before we get into your future for 2025. Temperance. Sick. Love that. Balance. Balance, peace, harmony, wholeness. What was I say? Like finding your feet. Balance. So it's just like, now is the time for you to prioritize like your peace and not overdo things. You might feel called to go after things and kind of overwork yourself. Just be really careful with that. Yeah, just like the biggest thing here is just make sure that you have balance between work and life and socialization and your own time. That is the biggest message right now, because you really need to have enough time for yourself to connect with yourself, because you're in this cocoon phase. It's really important for you to be able to hear your own voice right now. So I'm also not saying like completely shut yourself off from the world. It's important to go out and do all the little things that you need to do, socialize, whatever. This is just about balance and making sure that you have enough time, not complete solitude, you know, unless that's what you want. Like, don't, you know, you have free will, do whatever the hell you want to do. But that is the message so far, and that is a vibe for you. So now we can get on to the fun stuff that everyone wants to know. So what is coming in for you in 2025? Let's start with a lesson, okay? 5 of Cups. Okay, so far this is about not getting too caught up in losses. So what I was saying about like trial and error and finding your feet and balance and all that kind of stuff, and you know, all that stuff. Now is the time to fuck up. So if you do, which is inevitable, if you're going to try and do things, if you're going to go and try and find success for yourself and, you know, live your dreams, you are going to fail, like at some point. Like that's just life, and that's learning, and that is redirection, and that is going to be a big lesson for you this year. And just a big reminder, like a big piece of advice, like don't get too attached to outcomes, don't get too attached to anything. Like this is a time of openness. 2025 is going to bring you in, 2025 is going to bring in a lot of opportunities for you. So this is just a time to have fun and play and try and to fall down and get back up, because you know, like that is a part of it. Like that, I cannot stress that enough. If you fail, you're not actually failing, you're learning something at the end of the day. So biggest piece of advice, let's get maybe one more on that. Two of Cups. Actually, I want another one. So we got Two of Cups, the Knight of Cups reversed, and the Five of Cups reversed. Unsteady. Unsteady is the word that is coming to my mind. Unsteady. But like this Two of Cups, this feels like your, you know, your dreams. The Two of Cups is similar to the Lovers card, where it's two things coming together to harmonize, to create something better, to you know, work together and to balance each other, sort of a thing. Doesn't, like, it can be two people, or it can be a person and a job, a person and a hobby, you know, whatever. Like it's two things coming together to, you know, harmonize and create something. So there is a big theme of that in your reading here, like emotional fulfillment. Like this is all just, you know, because these are all cups as well, which are about like emotions, intuition, because it's water. Like this is very much about, yeah, like just working through, I just get this feeling of just like don't fully attach to anything. Like as long as you, like your soul stays tied to like the overall dream, even if you don't have like a very detailed picture. And that's honestly like the, what's the word, that's the advice here, is to not have like a detailed picture of what you want. It's like you can have like an overall vision, but don't, like, you don't need to get attached to every step on how to get there, because you know, there is going to be trials and errors, there's going to be mistakes, there's going to be little slip-ups, there's going to be like realizations that certain parts of the journey are not for you, or like not going to be your way of doing things. So there's never a loss in that. Every experience gives you perspective on how you want to do things in the long run. So for example, if you want to be like a chef, right? You just know in your soul, you're like, I want to cook food for a living. I don't know exactly how to get there or whatever. Like let's just say like you want to have like your own store, like like cafe or restaurant, whatever, but you don't have like an exact picture of how that's going to be. Like, you know, the universe is basically telling you to stay open. Like you don't need to have an exact vision of what area your shop is going to be at. how much you're going to be paying, you know, per week for the lease or whatever, or like what exact menu you're going to have, or what exact qualifications you're going to have, or who exactly is going to be working with you, if that makes sense. It's like, keep the vision there, but keep it open. Like, just be like, I want to eventually have my own restaurant one day, but like, you know, if you focus too much on it, like let's say you want it to be in the town that you're currently living at, and like you're just set on that, and then something happens that kind of tells you like that's not going to happen, you kind of end up in this energy where you're like, oh my god, like I'm just so devastated, like my dreams are never going to come true because this is not exactly how I envisioned it. But like, you could end up, I don't know, traveling one day and then you end up in France and you open a restaurant in France. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you don't know where you're gonna be in, I think like just a stick just fell on my roof. You don't know where you're gonna be in a year, even though like this tarot reading, it's guidance, right? But I can't tell you where you're gonna be in a year. And that's like the fun part, right? Like, just be open. That is the biggest thing here, because there's going to be so many opportunities that come your way that you're probably going to get steered in a direction that you didn't even know was possible, or didn't even think would be on the cards for you, but it was. So the biggest thing here is to just stay as open as you possibly can. So yeah, sorry if that sounded repetitive, but yeah, we got there. So let's just see what area of your life will experience the most significant amount of growth and transformation in 2025. The Hermit. You. Like, just your personal self, your sense of self. Because the Hermit is very, very in touch with himself. Like, they are completely unshaken by outside noise. Like, someone could be in their ear saying, you should do this or whatever, but they just know, like, in their soul, this is what is for me. You know, like, they're unbothered, and they're also quite kind of like aware of like people's projections as well. Like, they are like the master of the self. They know themselves like better than anyone or anything. Like, so that's some big energy. That's awesome. You're going to like, and that's funny as well, because like when I was pulling cards on where you have been, that's kind of the theme as well, and also saying that you're still in this phase, this transformative phase, and you're currently in the cocoon. Like, this is like 2025 is just going to be like an onflow of what you have already been experiencing and growing through. Like, the success and self-awareness that you have gained from 2024 is just going to be so amplified in 2025. Like, this just kind of feels like a closure of this lesson, and by the time that year is done, like, you're gonna be like a very whole person with a very, very true sense of yourself and what you want, what makes you happy. Yeah, like, I love that for you. So let's just get like another one. Death. Oh my god. No shit. Can that focus? Seriously? You are going to be a new person. 100%. Like, this is the end of this cycle. Like, and just the beginning of just like something so rich for you, like internally, like your emotional world. Like, you are going to be so confident in who you are, and you're just gonna have like such a clear vision for yourself and of yourself, like, and that is like the most powerful thing that you can have, because like when you know yourself, you like can, you know your path, you can attract everything that you want. Like you don't get kind of what is it, like delved off, you don't get taken off the road into some other bullshit that you don't really need to be worrying about. Like this is big. Woo. I'm excited for you. Come on, let's just like pull another one. Like, do we even need to? Like, these are just reaffirming things that I'm saying. The Star, holy shit. So this is gonna be a huge year for you. The Star is like celebrity vibes. So it's also just like inspiration, creativity, hope, like, you know, through this transformation, because transformations are not easy by any means. They, like, I think I read something today that like getting into like alignment with your path is kind of like trying to baptize a cat. Like that that could resonate for you, but you know, that energy is done in 2025. Like, damn, this is you just fully like going for it, being so inspired by life and even your experiences. Because like, if you have really been feeling like life has been like baptizing a cat, like that in itself creates inspiration. It's like a silver lining of, you know, a shitty experience. Damn. Like, I'm actually kind of speechless. Like, I don't really know what else to say. Like, this is huge. This is just really getting like recognized and being seen like for who you are as well. Like, this isn't just like just for you. Like, this pours out. This is like the cup being so full that it overflows, right? Like, you're going to be so emotionally fulfilled and you're going to know who you are and have like a clear idea of yourself, but so is everyone else. Everyone's going to be like, I know who they are. Like, they, you know, are just a force to be reckoned with. So this energy just bleeds out into every area of your life, career, love. When you know yourself, you attract everything that you want, because that's just the magnet that you become. So what are we going to dive into next? What abundance is coming your way in 2025? Let's just pull some cards for that. Like, honestly, so much abundance. Like, I don't even, do I need to pull cards on this after seeing that last three? Like, damn. Okay, the Tower. Oh, what is going on? So the Tower, for those who don't know, is a storm that comes through, sent by the universe to fuck everything up, like to just completely tear everything down. It, you know, obviously comes and lights the tower on fire, and then everyone's falling and oh my god, like this is the end. But it's the end of a chapter. It's not like, it's not actually like a scary card. Like, it can be like uncomfortable, because like no one necessarily wants to go through like upheaval, but like this is something that is just like, I don't know, I feel like this is just talking about this transformation that we've already been talking about. Like, it's a reminder of like the abundance that is going to come through from you going through this like uncomfortable cocoon phase. Because like when the tower breaks down, they rebuild bigger and better, because they know what didn't work in the past and what was working. So you know, like stay open. And that also, like when we were talking about staying open to like what is, you know, possible and not getting too stuck on outcomes, that is exactly what this is about. Like the Tower is like, it's unpredictable, like you can't control it. The universe is going to send it, and you know, it's going to give you like make you do like a U-turn, or it's like a block in the road, and then you have to like figure out, okay, well, where am I going to go from here? How do I get to where I need to go? Do I need to completely change directions? This is the openness that we're talking about. Like if something doesn't go your way, if you make a mistake or whatever, like this is like, just remember, this is the universe giving you like a gift. Do you know what I mean? Like you might be upset about it. You might be like, oh, I really wanted to do this thing, but now it's like not working out. It is for your highest and greatest good. When one door closes, another one opens, and it's going to be even better. Like you just have to trust. That is like the biggest thing with your reading for this year. The Knight of Swords reversed. You're like, calm down. Like that's what I'm doing here. Like stay calm, stay calm. Ooh. We've got the Fool reverse. So the Fool just like does things without thinking about the consequences. Especially reverse, like it's kind of like a reckless sort of energy. But when it comes to abundance, I just feel like that's how you're gonna find it. Like stay reckless. You know what I mean? Be reckless, be unhinged, be open. Like don't like get attached to a plan. Like obviously have an overall idea of where you want to go if you know, have goals, but openness is like the best thing. Play, recklessness, that is how you're going to find abundance. And it's funny because the question is like, what abundance is the universe going to give you in 2025? The Tower comes out. Like the abundance is going to come from the upheaval. The abundance is going to come from the storm. So when shit hits the fan, know that that is a gift, right? Like as you know, as hard as it might be, like trust, because straight after that the abundance comes through. The World. Damn, what do we got on the bottom? Four of Wands. Like this just feels like a real emotional sort of completion here. Like you're just gonna feel so whole and accomplished by the end of 2025. Because like look at these. So whether that is like a romantic thing, these aren't necessarily romantic cards. The Four of Wands can be, but like, you know, look at that, there's like two couples here. But like I was saying with the Two of Cups, this energy doesn't necessarily have to mean people. It can mean that you're coming together with like a romantic connection, or it can be a friendship, or a like, you know, friend, other or like a colleague or something like that. But it can also be like coming into harmony with like what is right for you, whether that's like a career, hobby, whatever. So there is just so much emotional fulfillment coming in for you in 2025. There is going to be so much celebration in your life. Like, because look, these guys are dancing, and then these guys are literally getting married. So it's just like, you know, like, oh my god, I made it, like that kind of energy. Like just having a good time, celebrating, and not being so serious. Like, yeah, just don't take anything too seriously this year. Like, stay open. Always do things with the intention of fun and play and enjoyment. Like, don't try and strain yourself and like hook yourself to something, because that is just going to lead to upset. Be open. Know that when shit hits the fan, that is the blessing. So do I have another question that I was going to ask? What advice does the universe have for you in 2025? I mean, like, I don't know what else. You know, like, there's been advice with like every card that we've been pulling, but let's just round off overall advice for 2025. And you know, I might just pull some from the Oracle deck as well. I'm gonna pull 2. Okay, so we've got 8 of Swords and the 7 of Wands. You are way more powerful than you give yourself credit for. This card is very much about being stuck. Well, thinking that you're stuck, but you're not actually stuck. It's like, how do I put it? Like how they say, like, it's okay to be sad, but don't sit in it forever. Like, because you'll get kind of stuck. It's okay to be sad and to grieve and, you know, be upset that things didn't go your way, but don't wallow in it. Like, move forward, because you have so much power and light in you to just keep going. Especially with this 7 of Wands. Like, this guy like knows what he's doing. He's on top of what he's doing. I'm gonna pull a couple from the Sacred Forest Oracle. Okay, we've got family and acceptance. Actually, I just want one more. And stability, like we were saying with the Temperance card. So, with the wolf spirit, they are very instinctual. They will do what feels right. And then we've got acceptance here. So, like, this just kind of like reaffirms what I've been saying. Like, go where you're called, but like, you need to accept things that don't work out, because like, that is going to be your abundance. Like, I can't drill that in enough. Like, I'm sorry that I sound like a broken record and I'm repeating myself, but I feel like I have to sometimes. We've got so many examples in this pool of transformation and allowing and trusting and accepting, because the wolf trusts. It just follows its instincts. But like, in the wild, like, they don't have, you know, they can't live with having an exact plan for their future. They have to move around based on what feels right at the time, and, you know, do what they can. So it's just this huge, you know, huge message of trusting and allowing yourself freedom to move through the motions and just kind of take things as it comes, and to ride 2025 like it is a wave. Don't fight it. When the wave ends, it's okay, because you can paddle out again and catch another one. Yeah, detachment, success, acceptance, all the good things. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. Yeah, I hope you have an amazing 2025, and if you did like this video and it resonated, please feel free to give it a like. It helps me out, and it also helps to get the video out to other Leos who may need this video. So yeah, I hope you have a lovely new year.